Fish the robot. Adam was a kind-hearted fisherman. He lived with his sick mother in a village. He loved his mother very much. He was very poor. He placed everything he needed for the next 24 hours on a table near his mother's bed and sat next to her. When his mother opened her eyes, he took his mother's hand in his hands and kissed her face. Her mother smiled. His mother's lips moved, and Adam understood his mother was praying for him. Then he placed his hand on his mother's cheek and told her that there was news on TV that there would be a hurricane in the sea tomorrow. Due to this hurricane, it will not be possible to go to the sea and catch fish for the next several days. So, I will not return home tonight and try to catch more fish to buy your medicine and food for the next few days. When Adam finished talking, he understood from his mother's smile and the wet corners of his eyes that his mother understood him. He told his mother that their neighbor, Aunt Emily, would keep coming to look after her. He took his boat and took it into the sea for fishing. Like Adam, a lot of other sailors were also busy trying to earn a living by fishing in the sea. He kept fishing in the sea from afternoon to evening. By evening he had caught and collected a lot of fish in his boat. Now, all the fishermen were returning home. Adam also brought his boat to the shore. Then he ate the dinner he had brought with him. He remembered when he was in 8th grade, his father passed away, and her mother became bedridden due to a sudden illness. After the death of his father, he was his mother's only support. He was sure that Aunt Emily must be taking care of his mother. Aunt Emily was a friend of Adam's mother, and now she has become her caretaker after her illness. She took care of her mother in every way. After dinner he went to sleep. He often prayed to God to help him so that he could treat her mother at a good hospital and she was able to recover from all the pain. After some time, while he was asleep, the Coast Guard whistled and told him to leave. But Adam was lying quietly. A long time had passed. He was tired, but he knew that if he went home, he would be out of business during hurricane days. And if there is no money, where will he bring the money for her mother's medicine? This worry gave him courage, and he put the boat back into the sea. The moon was shining in the darkness of the night. The moon's rays were playing on the waves of the sea. But Adam was busy fishing. He kept catching fish till morning. And now he was heading toward the shore. The Coast Guard was ringing the bells, instructing fishermen in the sea to return because the sea was going to be storm-crazed soon. When he took the net out of the water, he saw in the light of dawn that something was shining in the tail of a fish. He thought it was an illusion and threw it on top of the fish pile. Then he put all the fish in baskets, put them on a donkey cart, and tied the boat to the shore. While he was on his way home, he heard a sound from one of the baskets. He noticed that the sound was coming from a fish-like thing. It felt as if that toy fish was saying something. He reached home. He was confused, and while he was thinking, Aunt Emily's voice came from outside. "Son Adam, my flashlight's battery is low, maybe its cells are weak. If you have 2 spare cells, give them to me." Adam put the baskets under the bed and gave 2 cells he brought from the city to his aunt. And when he came back, he started to turn the fish-like thing upside down. He observed this toy fish from top to bottom and found the button. While inspecting this toy, he pressed that button. As soon as he pressed the button, the toy fish started speaking. And, funnily enough, it began to understand. The fish kept saying, "Beach, feet, Independence Day, sea, garbage, 70% increase." Adam was surprised. It said that since the Independence Day celebrations on the coast last week, the level of garbage in the sea has increased by 70%. Adam already used to worry about people littering the beach, but now it was too much. Now he understood what this toy fish was. He had once heard about a robot in the city market that would also give news about the weather and under the sea. He realized that it was the same robot. The hurricane stopped after a few days. The fisherman started going back to the sea. Adam got an idea one day. He took a long rope and tied one end to the fish's head and the other end of the rope to the boat. After returning that night from fishing, he took out the fish again and pressed the button. The fish said, "Sunday, day, 10%. Adam had another idea. He went to the city and told everything to the manager at the market. At first, the manager did not believe him. But when he told the figures, he also believed him. He took Adam to the newspaper office. Adam reported the whole incident to the editor of the newspaper. The editor was also surprised that these were the same figures he had published about the weather a few days ago. Now the editor asked them to do another test by putting the fish under the sea. The manager and Adam promised to do the same. The next day, the editor printed the same figures in the newspaper that the fish had told Adam. And the next day, the editor was surprised when an international magazine reported the same data. Now the editor was also wondering about that fish. The next day, the editor and the manager of the market came to Adam's house to see the fish-like thing. Adam also agreed to show them. Then they took the fish to the committee office to take over control of the sea. The committee officials saw that it was the same robot they sent to the bottom of the sea for the experiment a few days ago. But due to some spoilage, it could not communicate with them and they lost it. The officials were so worried that they could lose their jobs because the robot was a gift from a country that was equally aware of the growing amount of pollution and garbage on the sea floor every day. It was important to know the exact amount of waste and pollution to eliminate them. The robot could also predict the amount of waste, weather, and hurricanes. They greatly appreciated Adam's efforts and rewarded him the next day. They also held a ceremony for Adam in which he said that until we keep our land and coast clean, our robots and development efforts will continue to be in vain. The officials said that developed countries are also doing operations on the human body by sitting thousands of miles away with the help of robots. And we are now asking for this necessary technology from friendly countries. Robots are now a part of life, so we must use modern technology. Give it a boost or we will be far behind other countries. Adam also received many awards, and committee officials transferred her mother to a major hospital in the city, where America's best robots did an operation on Adam's mother online. She completely recovered after 6 weeks, and Adam was very happy now.